was a beautiful start to my birthday week. It was sunny and 75 degrees in January, which isn't unrealistic considering the weather we have here in Kentucky. On January 3rd, 2000, an F3 tornado hit Owensboro, Kentucky. It ripped through one of our hometown colleges, KWC, damaging almost every building on the campus. It also damaged the high school that I went to, Apollo, and directly behind that high school, which is where I lived at the time. That day started like any other day. My mom got us up and ready for school. We got on the bus. Throughout the day, I heard warnings of the possible tornadoes that were headed our way. But I didn't think anything of it because I'd never been scared of tornadoes before. When my brother and I got off the bus that day around 3 o'clock, we ran into the living room, grabbed a bag of Cheetos, and plopped down in front of the TV. My grandmother watched us after school while my mom worked at the hospital. She warned us to watch for the scrollings across the TV and the sirens for the tornado that was coming our way. Next thing I knew, I looked to my left and saw the patio furniture fly into the air, and I yelled, "Nina, the patio furniture just flew away." She came barreling out of the bathroom, hurrying us into the closet underneath the stairs. All I could hear was the knocking and banging that the tornado was unleashing on our home. After it was over, my grandmother got us out of the closet to assess the damage that had hit our house. There was wood on one of our windows, and the panels on our house were ripped off, and the roof in my mom's bedroom was wet. The insulation had got so heavy that it was caving in her roof. My grandmother decided that we were going to load all of her important things into a suitcase while we sang "I've Been Working on the Railroad" so she could keep our minds off of what we were doing. There was also an oil leak on our street, so they wouldn't let anyone on or off the street. My mom was worried and trying to get to us from work, but they wouldn't let her on our street to the house. So she ran past the cops through knee-deep water that had power lines down in it to get to us. She finally arrived to us and got relief that we were okay. She began cleaning things out and getting blankets and candles and flashlights together so we would be prepared to not have electricity. My grandfather eventually got to us too, and he threw pennies at our windows from the backyard because there was a ditch in our backyard that had power lines in it that he couldn't go through. That night we all slept together in the living room with our radio and flashlights and blankets piled on us because the temperature started to drop. The next morning it snowed, and the Salvation Army came onto our street because they still weren't letting anyone on or off the street, and they gave us blankets and food. The tornado impacted my life in a lot of less ways than many tornadoes have affected others, but nonetheless I will never forget that day. I will always be thankful for my mom's boyfriend at the time, who is now my stepfather, for giving us a home to go to after our house was damaged. And I'll also be thankful for being able to take my loved ones with me and not be without them.